guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Vlogtober day 16 and this is just a recap of what I did today. So before I get started in the story, or not much of a story, it's like a review. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I'm doing Vlogtober, as you can see, and I do a lot of other videos, just entertainment and challenges and traveling and lifestyle. Not much lifestyle, but more like traveling and entertainment. Let me know if you've ever done what I'm about to speak about. So I'm gonna make sure to not include the name of the show in my title, so you just have to kind of watch to see what I'm talking about. But yeah, so today I went to a filming for a popular TV show, hip-hop, called Wild 'N Out. And it wasn't my first time being affiliated with Wild 'N Out. I've gone to their live shows before, but this time I was a part of the audience in the filming. So first of all, I had to get the tickets, and they were free. I had to get the tickets through oneiata.com. This is not a sponsorship or anything, but I have an account with them, and I've always had an account with them for many years. So I got the tickets through oneiata.com, and they actually accepted and said, hey, yes, we're gonna give you tickets, because I requested them, right? So we're gonna give you tickets. So I signed up. I had to upload my COVID vaccine card front and back, and I had to, it said that we're supposed to get a negative COVID test, but that, I'll talk about that. So we were prepared, and I got dressed up, and I'm saying, all right, TV, so I have to look good, right? So I get to the place, they tell us to park in the parking lot. The day before, they're gonna say, oh, you don't need to get a COVID test, we're gonna test you on site. I literally had to find somewhere, a Rite Aid, to figure out if I'm positive or negative, and I'm always negative. So I got the test anyway, and I brought the results just in case. So I pull up, they're gonna say we can't bring any bags into the studio because it doesn't look good on camera. Okay, fine. So I took out everything. Glad I wore jeans, because if you didn't have pockets, where am I gonna put everything that I need? So I put everything in my pockets, and I went in to the entrance of like the whole day, right? So you have to go in, you have to get your COVID testing done, and then you sit in the waiting area for about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, and then you get on a shuttle bus to the actual studio, because they had to give us parking, like where were we gonna park, right? So we got shuttled to the studio, and a couple red flags. So I had priority tickets, so we were among the first people to actually arrive, right? The emails that they sent out leading up to the show or leading up to the day did not state a lot of things. One, it did not state that we're gonna be standing the whole time. So when I got to the studio and we're finally in after sitting down for like an hour waiting to actually go in, we go in and it's only standing. Now if you know Wild 'N Out, usually people see people sitting in the audience at like tables and everything. So the first time I decided to actually go to a staging, to a filming, you have to stand the whole time, and it was supposed to be for like 3 to 4 hours, from like 3:30 p.m. to like 7. That's what to expect to film. So we're like, okay, at least we're gonna be seated. We pull up to the studio, no seats. The way that the set is now is that they have a bunch of cars in the area, and then I guess they have the Wild 'N Out girls sitting in these cars on their phones, not paying attention, not doing anything anyway. So I feel like we could have at least gotten a seat. We could have pretended to be like Wild 'N Out girls and at least got a seat, because I wore heels. Who told me to do that? I don't know, but I had on heels, and it's the second time I actually wore those boots, and right now my toes are dead because of it. However, it was a pretty cool set. I'm not gonna blow too much of what the set is. It's just like, we're basically called Planet Wild 'N Out, so it looks like a bunch of celestial stuff and like urban settings. So you have to dress urban and dress like you're going to like a hip-hop club. So we're getting there and we're standing throughout the whole filming, and apparently we were supposed to be filming 2 shows. Come to find out, there was a 3rd show that was filmed before we got there. I'm glad it wasn't for 3, because we were tired. We couldn't have our snacks or anything. They gave us like water and Red Bull in between the filmings, and of course they were doing their thing on stage. Wish they told us that we were gonna stand the whole time, because like I said, for the first time in 17 seasons we're standing, and that was like pretty weird. It's like, at least let's say we're gonna be standing for the whole thing so we could dress comfortably. They didn't even want us leaning on the cars, which I didn't care. I leaned on the car because I was tired and my feet hurt, right? And then you can't really go to the bathroom in between anything, so you have to kind of like hydrate but not really hydrate, because then how are you gonna like hold it if there's no bathroom breaks, right? Anyways, I essentially didn't drink anything from leaving the house all the way till I got back home, because I have a very defective bladder. But yeah, they're filming, and they filmed a few different scenes. They have like a whole new setup where you have like the lead artist for the other team, the old school and the new school. So you have the lead artist for the new school on some hologram screen, but it seems pre-recorded because you had like repeated scenes that kept going back. Like one guy was just blinking all the time. And the artists that they had for the 2 seasons, or for 2 episodes, were somebody named Simba. No one knew him. Like, who are you, sir? And then Tuesday, that guy that's associated with Drake, with the Tuesday slide or whatever. So like when we were watching the Tuesday hologram, we realized that it was like pre-recorded and it was being like cycled over and over again. But yeah, I mean, if you watch well enough, you know the content and you know the nature of the show. So the actual show and the scenes that they filmed for those episodes would give it like a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. I mean, it wasn't that funny, but we were being filmed, so we had to like really pretend like we're cracking up, and we had to like Wallen, and we had to do the whole, like, all of that for the cameras when they came around. I mean, seeing behind the scenes though, seeing how they like switch out the props and seeing how they switch out the cast and whatever, actually being a part of the filming, it's so hectic. And maybe if it was in a different sense, because it was the first filming for or since COVID, first like in-person filming, I would give that like a 5, because you had to stand the whole time. Yeah, you couldn't even eat and drink comfortably. You couldn't carry bags or anything. Like it was just a lot. It was kind of hot in there, and I don't get hot very often. It was kind of hot. So I give like the actual behind the scenes and seeing how everything's changing like a 5. But the content that you're gonna actually see on TV when they air it, I'd say 7, maybe 8. You had those characters who you know are just gonna do what they do. Like Iman, he's gonna make a fool of himself. And they have like Conceited, who's gonna be that battle rapper type of person. Which I was disappointed because he didn't do much in these 2 episodes. I guess because his friend Hitman Holla, his Hitman Holla's partner, you know, was injured earlier in the week, and you know they're usually that dynamic duo, so he wasn't there. So maybe he was just, you know, holding back. The fact that we were standing for the whole time, someone behind me fainted. Like a lady just like fainted. She flattened out. We heard like these were some drums on the ground. We heard the drums shift, and then I look around and someone's on the ground like Vilma searching for something. That's what I thought. Like I thought she dropped her glasses or something and she was just searching. Turns out she fainted. Her earrings flew off, and we were just like, okay, do we stop and just like help her up, or do we just continue filming? Because the people on stage didn't realize, so they were still going. Like Nick and all the people were still going, and Shorty was on the ground, low-key dying. I didn't do anything, and everyone else was like, should we do something? But eventually, like a wilding out girl got out of one of the cars that they were sitting in, actually helped her up and sent her to the back to sit down. So lucky her, she got to sit, and I hope she's okay, you know? But yeah, that's how like hot it was. So like if it would have been a better situation, a better rating if we were treated better in these filming conditions. Like give us some seats, like have us eat something in between. Like they asked us, okay, how many filmings were you here for? One of the girls in the front, and she said, I'm here for 3. And it's like, did you feed her, or did you get food? And we're like, hell no, you didn't get no food, because like all we could do is drink water and eat like Lay's and Doritos and stuff. Like that's not substantial for being there for hours of filming. Another thing was that like the cast members, they didn't really seem like into it. Well, they did, but Nick, he seemed really out of it. Like his mind was completely somewhere else. Like the way you see it on the shows, the way you see him interact, it was not the case with this one. And I don't know if he had like an incident before coming, but like, you know, in between, like, you know, the filming of the actual games, he would literally just walk off stage and go back and then come back for the next one while everyone else is on stage, like, interacting with each other. He would just disappear, and his face and his energy was just low and off, right? So I don't know, that kind of like turned me off, because like, you're the host, you're supposed to be the most energetic one, and you're supposed to be like really interactive with us. They also kept saying, can everyone get up on their feet so we can, like, get up on your feet so we can sing this song or whatever. Literally, we were all on our feet because we were standing the whole time. Where are we gonna get up on our feet when we're already on our feet? So yeah, that was offensive because you're taunting me right now. But I figured that he's talking to the people at home watching it on their TVs and not the actual audience, when I'm thinking back now. But yeah, like, I don't know, that was just kind of weird, seeing that kind of interaction. And yeah, I mean, seeing everyone that you met on TV in person, big whoop, I guess. Like, a few people you actually knew from like youth, like that guy Stanley from That's a Raven, or Lil JJ from Just Jordan, I think it was like Nickelodeon, or a lot of people from Love and Hip Hop. So you know, a lot of people from Love and Hip Hop always pop up in these shows. So like Lovely Mimi from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, who does like nails and whatever. And you had like Candy. She was like one of the leaders of like the new school, and she's from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. And then you had Jessie Wu, she was from Love and Hip Hop Miami. It was like a bunch of them. So like, they were familiar faces, and it wasn't just like all like random people, because you didn't have like DC Young Fly, you didn't have Carlos Miller, you didn't have Chico Bean, like all the greats that you expect to see there, you didn't have them. So it was just like, okay, a B-list cast, fine. But would I go again? Yes, if I am comfortably dressed. Like, I'm not gonna go again and wear heels. I'm not gonna go again and wear. But that was really just it. Like, I was wearing heels. I probably won't wear as much makeup because I was sweating and patting. Like, a camera guy literally came up into my face. I had to be like, yes, yes. Like, while the camera's right here, and I'm like, okay, you can move now. You can move now. And I'm just like looking cute. Hey, wildin'. Like, sir, you're too close. Okay? You don't need to see the flaws in my makeup. So we'll see what gets aired. And I hope, you know, it's one of the earlier episodes, or the one that, you know, in the season. So we'll see how often, because I was pretty close to the front. So we'll see how often I'm shown in the episodes, if they crop us out or not. So that should be interesting. But yeah, I would go back to another filming. Now I know what it's like. I just wish they had chairs. But if I wore what I originally want to wear, which was like sneakers, I would have probably had a much better time. Like, right now my toes are killing me. But the big issue with what I, you know, that I had when I was choosing my outfits was they said no logos. So I was gonna wear something with a bunch of logos on it, or at least what I thought would be logos. And then when I got there and we were in the COVID line waiting, I saw someone in the exact same thing. So I was like, okay, are they gonna turn her back or no? But also kind of glad I didn't wear that, because then we both have the same thing on in the filming, and that's like not cool. But yeah, that's kind of my review of like filming for a while now. I'd do it again only if I was properly dressed and if I was well nourished. Like, before we left the house to go, we ate like a huge meal. Like, we cooked the day before, we had some leftovers for the next day. Huge meal. But it held us over, and we weren't necessarily that hungry when we left, but we were parched because we couldn't drink too much because we didn't want to use the bathroom during. But our feet hurt. And, you know, it's not just like filming the actual games, it's like waiting for them to set up, and they had to refilm like stuff like, oh, if they didn't catch enough footage of us cheering wildin', they have to refilm it in between, or refilm like DJ D-Rec saying over the categories or whatever. But yeah, it's an experience. I like trying new things. We couldn't use our phones. Obviously I would put footage in, but we couldn't use our phones, so You just have to picture it, and then when you watch an episode, you'll see what I was talking about, like the scene and the setup and everything. But yeah, that was my experience with recording for Wilding Out as an audience member. And I hope you enjoyed, my take on things. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share your experiences if you've done it before or if you'd like to do it. If you want to know like the actual website to get tickets for doing that or anything else like talk shows, I'll put it in the description. It's oneiota.com, but I'll put it in the description. And don't forget to come back to watch the next one. So I'll see you guys soon. Bye.